On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, we try to figure out what Zach did to my Fiat 500 Abarth. Or Abarth. I guess apparently I have to say Abarth in every one of these now. So we're driving along, heading out to Zach's house, because he just called me and said, hey, I think your Abarth blew up. And I was like, I don't know how, but anyway, we're gonna go out there and check that out, scan it, and see if it's throwing codes. Maybe it's just variable valve time, who knows? But traffic was going super slow on the road right behind us here. So I was like, what is going on? Why does that Honda look like it's stuck there? There's no flashers or anything. So we pulled up, and Jake and I hopped behind it, and I was like, put it in neutral, we'll push you. So we pushed him over there, and Jake was like, maybe it's loose battery terminal. I was like, we don't have tools with us right now. So we ran up there and I wiggled the battery terminal and it was completely loose on the positive side. So I was like, oh, that's it, start your car. And of course, instead it immediately cranks and it's like, tick, 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 tick. Oh dude, the rod's gone. And the engine, I was like, can you just turn it to on? Temp gauge basically pegged. I mean, that engine was finished. So unfortunate. I bet maybe the oil pump died. Because I looked at the oil and it was basically perfect, so that was surprising. But yeah, fire had stopped to block traffic for him after a minute. Oh well, I guess we have to get out of here. I was like, hate to be the bearer of mad news, man, but I think you need an engine. Now let's go find out if I need an engine. What is going on, guys? I'm Watch Chair Go, and today we're out here at Zach's wrap shop, snap restyling, and he called me yesterday and he said, hey, your car doesn't run right anymore, so come figure it out. And I was like, isn't that your job? You're driving it. But we're here with it. I grabbed the keys real fast. I shoved them in the ignition. I haven't tried to start it yet. And I brought my code reader too. We're gonna plug that in and try to pull the codes and see what we can find. Weirdly, it was only like one night before we were working on the XB and I needed a ride home and Zach came and got us and it was running fine. So I don't know what happened between here and there. My first thought when he called was oil, and then Zach said he checked the oil and it was fine, and I was like, well, if it's not oil, pull the battery. So he did pull the battery and waited like 10 minutes, put it back on, and he said there's still no change. So we're gonna hop in here, try to do a little troubleshooting. I thought oil because these turbo cars definitely blow through oil, and you probably have to be adding about every 1,000, and you should be checking it pretty consistently along with gas stops and everything. Any Abarth owner can tell you that they love oil. All right, we got the old Wi-Fi OBD code reader. I'll throw a link in the description below since everyone always asks. The last video, I showed it on the Scion and it was just blowing up. So we'll plug it in here, turn the car on. You don't have to start it for this. A lot of people say, well, I think a lot of people think that cars need to be running for your code reader to work, but it just needs stored codes to pull. So join the Wi-Fi network here. And let's pull some codes. Open up dash command, diagnostics. Boom, check it out. P0420, normal, catalyst system efficiency below threshold bank 1. That has been here forever. And if you clear the codes, it comes back in 3 seconds. It's always there. And it's because this is a catalyst downpipe on this car. P103E, unknown DTC, that's a new one. P0304, cylinder 4 misfire detected. So that's probably what it is. He said it sounds like it's running on 2 cylinders. I don't know what it is, but that would definitely line up with what Zach was saying here. Let's Google this. P103E. DTC codes. What is oil supply solenoid valve? Well, this doesn't actually mention my code, but it says it could be oil supply solenoid valve stuck. How's the stretching going, Jake? Are you beat after we pushed that guy's car off the road a second ago?
Just trying to stay limber.
Stay limber.
Oh, yes.
Let's check the oil on this bad boy. I'd like to wipe it off, but I mean, it's covered. That's something.
Yeah, it looks a little bit on the dirty side.
Yeah, it does. It's time for an oil change. Ooh. It's because we're, yeah, that's exciting. Look at that. There's like a nest. That's nasty. Oh my gosh. You are kidding me. Look at all this. All the wiring. You had like an animal in here, dude. Oh, this is nasty. Oh.
You have to down your shots?
Do you have a vacuum so I can clean out?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to use your vacuum, but apparently there's our problem, and that is cylinder 4, right? Yep. It's the farthest one over.
Wow.
Oh.
What is this?
Dirt with hair. That's gross. That's why I wanted to vacuum it out.
We've never had a problem out here with mice in cars.
Apparently only my cars get eaten.
Yep.
I do legitimately wonder if it's something to do with it being a Fiat, because like I know most cars that stuff is got a repellent. Tolerance. And I wonder if if they don't have these sorts of problems in Europe.
Are you saying Fiats are flavored better than American and Japanese
They're more
cars?
Italian.
They taste like spaghetti. Yeah. This is this spaghetti wiring harness.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, do you have wire and solder and heat shrink?
I have heat shrink.
Oh, cool. That doesn't help me.
That's one of 3.
What a 3-cylinder Fiat sounds like. That's bad, dude.
Boy, can you see it shaking?
Oh yeah.
The whole car is shaking. We could actually just touch it together and it will clearly work. Unwind it one wrap.
Oh, yep.
Then hold your tongue on it.
Yeah.
If you could hold it together, it won't hurt, but...
Yeah, it's low voltage, probably.
Okay.
This seems safe.
Are we doing it again?
Let's go for it. Make sure this is our only issue.
I mean, you know it's the only issue.
Let's watch Jake blow up.
Watch Jake get shocked. Yep, it runs perfectly. At least the engine's not dead.
Yeah.
Unlike that minivan guy. I feel bad for him. I'm not upset about this like that minivan
Well,
guy.
when I called you about it, you're like, oh no.
Well, yeah, I figured you killed the car. And we're back and ready to get to work on this bad boy. So let's get this garage closed so we can have a little bit more light and get to soldering. Got the whole soldering iron kit here. What animal do we think this was?
It's either a pack rat or a mouse.
Yeah. Probably a pack rat, I guess, because it was loading stuff into there. So, Well, let's get this soldering iron hooked up, take this box here apart, and get to soldering. All right, got the front one out. It's much shorter than the back one there. This thing is free. I do need some pliers because I can pop the PCB line there loose.
I got him.
And then once that's loose, I should be able to get this cap off of here and knock this right out. One of the few times I've seen somebody build like a housing to break out the wires inside of. Got it, without breaking anything. Wow, I wish I had split loom to fix all this, but I sure don't. Did you? It's got bite marks all the way back to there. Why did an animal eat my car? That's all I want to know here. And we'll go all the way back to here, which is as far as the animal could get up. Cut all that off. Let's see, we need to strip.
You know what? I know what happened.
What do you think happened?
The pack rat was so upset that you took his home, aka the boat, and decided to move into your feet.
Oh, I actually believe it. That's what happens when you have a boat. The pack rats just attack your car. These wires are pre-twisted internally.
I was gonna say that core looks really nice.
Yeah, you don't have to twist them for some reason. It's really weird. These are our choices here. We've got brown, red, and yellow. The yellow is really too small of a gauge. The brown and red. The brown's the right gauge, and the red's a little too thick. The red's like 12, and this is 14, and this looks like 16. So I think we're gonna go with brown and red because that's an approximation. These should be the exact right length. Throw our waste over there, strip these real quick. There's the first jumper. There's our red, ready to go. We'll do our first one here. Tin the soldering iron just a little bit. When your heat shrink is too small, but you slide it over the joint anyway, and then just double heat shrink it. Double the protection. All right, now we're gonna heat shrink our heat shrink real fast, obviously.
Try and snake the heat shrink up the twist somehow.
Exactly what I'm doing, yeah. I was like, I need to get the heat shrink way up there, but I also need it to not melt onto the wire. I knew it was gonna do it. The wire is hot enough that the heat shrink shrunk all the way back to here.
Oh.
So now I'm gonna have to split it with a razor blade and then like pull a bunch of it back. But hey, the joint looks really good, so there is that. So we're gonna put what's left of this split loom on here because the split loom kind of holds these into this wire tray and try to get our joints back up inside there so they're protected a little bit more. And where'd the cover go? Did I put it in my pocket? Oh, I'm just blind. That's what happened. Okay, cool. Put our bolts back in. A long one goes here, short one goes here, and we are ready to test this thing out. I might even take some electrical tape because this could all be covered up a little bit better. It'll probably help protect it from a little bit of the heat too. If there's one thing you don't need, is a lot of torque on 10mm bolts that hold a little wire harness in place. So I'm just kind of tightening them and giving them like a 1/16 of a turn. And then, let's see, we'll grab some electrical tape, finish that off. Anyway, I think it looks pretty good. It looks almost factory, and I can put the PCB back as well. So there goes the last of the critical parts. We're ready to take this thing out for a test. All right, there we go. Electrical taped up, so it's got a little isolation and you can't tell that the colors are wrong and all that good stuff. So I think that will work forever and we're good. Soldering's all done. It's all put back just the way I wanted it, I think. There's those beautiful new coils. And yeah, now we're actually ready to take it out for a test drive. I think everything's out. Yeah, close the hood if you want. Do the magic. Jake, welcome to the car.
Hi.
It's fixed. Oh. It's not that loud once it's outside.
Yes, it is.
It seems right to me. You heard it before. I should have cleared the codes. Oh, it's making tons of power. Man, this car's cool. I probably haven't driven it in like 3 months, right?
It's been a little bit.
Well, pretty simple fix. Rats, man. Yeah, now we have to let Jake out of the back seat.
Well, we didn't have
Comfy.
to.
We can leave him in there. I had to ride all the way home with this back seat the other day. All right, Zach, your car's fixed. Are you how's that game going?
I'm trying to get the ball to roll.
Okay. I was just making sure that's what you were doing while we were.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, enjoy your car again.
Thanks.
I'd love to have it back one of these years.
Well, take it back whenever you want.
I think he means take it back whenever my Subaru's fixed.
No.
Jake, thanks for the camera work.
Do I get dibs on the car next?
Maybe. And thank you guys so much for watching. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time.
You didn't even let me know you were coming over.
Of course I didn't.
It's like, hello.
Hello, Governor. I'm here to fix the car.
Hello, mate. I'm here to fix my car. They let the animals get to.